What's going on, folks? Painless. I'm going to try to make real quick work of this because that's exactly what it is, folks. Quick work. You know, we see the verdict with Chauvin, Officer Chauvin, and no surprise. And what thing I have taken away from this verdict, I do believe that while he was found guilty on 3 charges, and I still believe that George Floyd caused his own demise based off his overreaction. It would have never gone that way. And I'm going to explain to you the problem in the so-called black community from what I see in the everyday thinking amongst a lot of black folks, which is very problematic to me. But one thing I've taken away from this whole verdict is that when you put things into, there's still Americans out there, human beings with a heart that can look at things and change things. I mean, we saw that the situation with Chauvin, and as you go back to my videos that I've done about this whole situation, I believe it was, first off, George Floyd, his actions. If he never acted that way, there wouldn't be no case, put it that way. There would be no question about was his foot on, or was his knee on his throat, on his shoulder blades, or whatever. It would have never went that way. And I think all this footage of what happened to George Floyd, while it helped convict Chauvin, one thing that it did that a lot of people, probably in the back of their mind, but they are too scared to say it, it showed the mentality in the actions of a lot of black folks. Y'all saw how George Floyd was whimpering and resisting and crying and begging over a simple traffic stop. They didn't come in there, from what I've seen. See, this is what happens when you show too much. When you show your hand too much trying to prove a point. It's just like, it's the equivalent of you in a room and everybody else is at a certain point higher than you. They have more experience than you. Now, you have experience, but you don't have quite as much experience as they do. So you get in the room, and this is when you can talk your way out of a damn good situation because you run in your mouth too much. You're in a room, and y'all all have expertise, but again, you don't have the same expertise as these 3 individuals here. And you begin to feel yourself so much, you begin to say, oh, no, this should be done like this. You begin to run your mouth too damn much. When in actuality, you should just be quiet and let things fall where they fall. And all this footage shown with George Floyd, while it did, again, help convict, it showed something else that I'm about to highlight. But, just to go back to the jurors, it shows that justice does work when given a chance. This whole thing about black, the justice system never worked for us, blah, 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 blah. No, it does work. You just need to give it a chance. So that's one thing I've taken away from this whole conviction, that, that there are people out there that can look at things, not be swayed, and say, hey, this is our decision. And one thing I'm about is, it may not be the right decision. You made a decision, and those 12 people made a decision, and they decided to convict. Now here comes the ugly side. We had a 16-year-old girl shot, and I'm kind of done with George Floyd. But I just wanted to talk about this 16-year-old Mikayah Bryant shot, which to me is a justified shooting. Case closed, folks. You know, I don't care if she's 14. And I've said this, us in the so-called black community, we love to coddle our kids. And then when we push them out, because we have this whole European mindset about, well, 18, you're done, I'm through with you. And then when we coddle our kids up until 18 and beyond and wonder why they can't function in life. That's what we have. We wonder why black kids are... See, in the so-called black community, you essentially what you have is a bunch of man and woman children. That's what... In age, they are adults. But in mental capacity, in reason, in decision-making, they are children. And it takes a while to transcend out of that. Conflict resolution. Owning up to what you've done. That's what adults do. Children say, or children have this belief that, oh, if the police come up to me, I can resist, I can cuss, I can get physical. But I'm still supposed to be taken seriously and treated in a good manner. That's a child's approach to things. An adult approach is, if you resist, if you act this way, these are the consequences. You may get a foot on the back of your damn throat. Or a knee on the back of your throat. Now, is it right or wrong? No. But when you put yourself in goddamn positions for someone to do that to you, adults realize that shit. Adults understand this. Children will make excuses. Children will say, fuck that other child that Mikayah Bryant was about to stab. Why did y'all shoot her? And then you have other content creators, which I agree, that a black life only is worth something when a white person takes them out. You don't see, and see, you have all these, and I listen to a variety of content creators. And they try to belittle people like myself when we say, well, what about black on black crime? Yeah. You got Mexican on Mexican crime. You got Asian on Asian crime. Well, goddamn it, who's always in the forefront? And I've said this. We as black people do not know how, which is another childlike characteristic, attention seeking. We do not know how to just shut the fuck up and lay off in the cut and be chill. We always have to be seen and heard. And I've talked about this to ad nauseum. I said that there's many times, when I lived in places and I've ridden a public transportation, there's always a Negro with his headphones beepity-bopping loud, trying to be seen and heard. That's a childlike mentality. Children always need attention. Adults, we fly, not necessarily, hunkering down, but we don't want attention. We just trying to get from point A to point B. But black folk, we have this childlike, and I want anybody to refute me on this. An immature person would look at that video of that 16-year-old girl going for a death kill. She's going for a death kill. Now, from my understanding, those girls came up there to mess with her or something to that effect. But that's besides the point. That's some old nigger feces stuff, which I could delve into. But I'm talking about just looking at things for what they are. That police had say he didn't shoot that girl and she ended up stabbing him. Guess what Negroes and disingenuous white liberals would have said? Oh, see, they don't do their job. We need to make sure we have police. So you can't win. This is why you're going to have a mass, and I've said this before, and this already happened. And I believe this is what happened between the span of 2012 and and up until now. And I said after that situation with Eric Garner and Michael Brown, you have a lot of people, a mass exodus of the police. And this is what replaced now with people who shouldn't be police. So this is what so really there's already been a defunding of the police in terms of qualified candidates, people who should be police. People with a sound mind and say, you know what, I'm not going to be the next Chauvin or the next whoever, that guy that killed Michael Brown or the Eric Garner situation. Anybody in their right mind wouldn't be a police now. Not because it's scary, but just because, you're going to run up on a situation like this. And I've seen many of us in the so-called black community, and we lack conflict resolution. And many ethnicities that choose to be police, they don't know how to handle black folks. So they have to be sent to sensitivity training and things like this. And I often wonder, and I have friends that are police, what do they teach in these sensitivity training classes? Because these situations are extreme. I don't care if she made straight A's. She was about to kill someone. And that police owed it to that girl. I tell you what, I bet you that girl's parents ain't over here talking about justice for Mikayah Bryant. I can fucking tell you that. And this goes back to the hypocrisy from the disingenuous white liberals who are the Pied Pipers to Negroes who can't put two and two together, who can't see things for what they are, will have you believe. This is it. They will have you believe that this girl, that, that police are the issue. Somebody called the police over there. So this being naive and disingenuous and immature and childlike, talking about, but I would say this: you want to defund the police, disingenuous white liberals, and zombie Negroes, you want to defund the police? Well, police your own selves. Street justice. And I've said this before, folks, the only people that's going to suffer in terms of a defunding of the police or a lack of responsible by police is black folks in these dreaded communities, so-called communities. That's the only people that's going to suffer. That's the only people that's going to suffer. So this was a justified, so while you had footage for Chauvin and George Floyd, because most, from my understanding, most homicide cases, there's maybe a photo or some other victim, but here we had footage. So here we have footage of a 16-year-old girl. I don't give a shit if she's 16 or 11. To me, you are of cognizant mind from right and wrong at the age of 8. You know that killing someone, that's not right at the age of 8 and above. But anyway, you definitely at 16 know this shit. So, you mess with the bull, you get the horns, and she got it. All you Negroes out here saying that he didn't have to do that. Well, tell the family of that girl who's now alive because of that white police officer. Do I have to say the obvious? And these ain't white, left, right-wing talking points. Oh, you just regurgitating what they say on Fox. No, this is common sense. Any, again, reasonable person, adult-minded person that can use logic, reason, understanding, discernment, can see that this shit is justified. I don't need to listen to Fox to fucking know this shit. I don't need to listen to Officer Tatum to know this. This is common fucking knowledge if you just look at the damn tape. So that's a talking point smash to you folks out here that says, oh, you just using white conservative Bill O'Reilly, Tucker Carlson talking points. Okay. All right. That's what you want to believe. I choose to look at it as someone with a fucking half a mind that can look at the situation and be like, oh yeah, that girl's about to kill that girl. Police officer who has a obligation, a community obligation to preserve life, irregardless of if she was 16 years old, which goes back to the coddling that we do in the so-called black community. She was just a baby. Bullshit. You know what? I could never stand that. I could never stand that, folks. And you know, people say, you know what? When I say me is painless, have I had run-ins with law enforcement in my life? Yeah. Yes, I have. Have I ever been handcuffed? Yeah. You fucking right I have. Have I been to prison or anything? Nope. And, you know, the times that I've been arrested was for fighting. I mean, I was young, in the military. You know, hey. So I get it. But I outgrew that shit. And that was a one-time situation. And I've shared about the story in which I was accused of doing something to a woman that I've shared in other videos. Many of y'all probably remember, in which those two white county sheriffs, you know, I'm not going to go through it, but basically those two white sheriffs said, you know what, sir, your story's been so consistent, you know, be careful next time. These women are crazy, blah, blah. And I never saw those white sheriffs again. Case closed. And I say all that to say because people out here, they want you, when you say that, they say, well, yeah, you this way, you going to have your nigga moment. And I'm like, why would you want me to have a nigga moment with police? When I said I've never had one. Why would you want me to have that? Why can't you say, well, Painless, that's good, man, brother. I hope you never run into that. No, I'm going to tell you why. Because Negroes want you to feel disparaged, and they want you to be in that same, drinking out that same trough as them. They want you to be miserable. They want you to be woe is me, just like them. But don't waver. And that's the psyche that I see, and I see it online. I actually see people, I see pastors, people of the cloth, talking about justice for this girl. But fuck the other girl that was about to get killed. Which goes back to black people. Your life ain't worth a good goddamn if it's killed by someone who looks like you. It's only of value when it's someone of so-called the dominant society. Which goes back to also the mentality of the white man's ice is colder. You have more clout. You get more attention. And see, niggas don't understand it. Every time you Google booger and jump and holler and scream, and when a white cop kills you, what you are saying essentially is the white man's ice is colder. That's really what you're saying. And see, this is how stupid Negroes are that are in America. That's what you believe. Man, My aspiration, it is becoming to a point to where it appears like, this may sound crazy, that people, the aspirations is to get killed by police so I can cash out. Here, George Floyd's family got, what, $27 million? And they still convicted this guy. So maybe that's the new hustle. Ain't no payout getting killed by a Pookie or Ray Ray. Essentially, that's what it is. Really, that's what it is. There is no fiduciary come up to get killed by your own. You got to go out by the hands of a white police, which is sad. Which is sad because you are reiterating the clout of the very people that you blame for your predicament. Did you follow what I said? When you have that, when you believe that, and you focus so much energy on a white on black killing, could you imagine the power if people if black folk just ignore these police shootings, what that would say? And I've said about the Kneegrow PlayBook. Disingenuous liberals know the Kneegrow PlayBook. These politicians know the Kneegrow PlayBook. They know to show up, church, sing Negro hymns, eat fried chicken, okra, macaroni and cheese, and hold your hand and rock back and forth and say, I ain't no ways tired, Hillary Clinton. See, they know the Kneegrow PlayBook. The Kneegrow PlayBook. Cop shoots, white cop shoots black male, female. Oh, hey Jim, we need some more. We need some more poster boards and 2x4s, Jim. So you go to white people, white companies, to get your placards, to get your poster boards, to make Black Lives Matter signs. You go to white establishment to get the markers to make these Black Lives Matter signs and all type of ridiculous statement signs about, nobody told you, nobody told you to be a cop with your scary ass. See, if that's the mantra in the so-called black community, which it's always been, and it's very smart aleck-ish to say that somebody, because when you have a 45 snub nose shoved in your fucking grill on the west side of Detroit at 1:51 a.m., guess who you gonna wish is there? That scary ass white cop or that scary ass cop. So, and I've said about grandstanding, black folk love, we get excited over these little punk ass victories, but you're still in the same position. So yeah, Chauvin is guilty, but your punk ass is still waiting on a stimulus check so you can go buy you pounds of Walmart bacon and crab legs. But you're excited over this little punk ass victory in your eyes. When you're still going to Asian stores to get hair on your head from other women and to sit in establishments and put your crusty ass feet up, and this little 5'3", 117-pound Asian woman is talking all types of shit about you to her next co-worker. So, but hey, if you think this is cool, if this is a victory for you, all right, you like it, I love it. Painless out.